It's a battle of expansion sides on opposite ends of the USL League One picture in Sherman, Texas tonight. A Texoma side desperate for its first victory in club history hosts a soaring Naples side that tops the table. You are watching USL League One on ESPN+. We say hello and welcome to historic Bearcat Stadium. I'm Sam Goldfarb. This is a Texoma side with tons of talent, and the marquee signing this offseason, Solomon Asante, the former two-time back-to-back USL Championship MVP with Phoenix Rising in his first USL League One campaign. 35 years of age, but Adrian Forbes says he still has tons of quality. And his rookie partner up front, Brandon McManus, has flashed tons of that so far. Responsible for both of Texoma's goals in all competitions this season, including the opener inside 4 minutes last week for the first USL League One goal in club history against Westchester SC. He is hoping to build on that for a Texoma side still looking for more goals in the final third. On the other side of things, FC Naples, a flying start, unbeaten in its first 6. A big reason why Carson Henderlong has scored 3 of 4 goals in league play for FC Naples, a former Indy 11 man who has found a new home in League One and has been ruthless in the final third to open the season. He is the target man up top for the Wave tonight. And we mentioned that tremendous start for FC Naples. This is historic. The third best start by a team in its inaugural season in USL League One. And you see this, 6 unbeaten in all comps. That only trails North Texas and Omaha. Omaha with the record 8 unbeaten to open its inaugural campaign in 2020. FC Naples looking to take one step closer to that record tonight with any sort of result here. We're just about set for kickoff here in the Texoma region. It is Texoma looking to make a major statement of intent against Naples here in Sherman. Stick with us. Lineups and kickoff next on ESPN+. Back here at historic Bearcat Stadium, where Texoma FC and FC Naples take the pitch, accompanied by a local U16 South African side competing in the Dallas Cup in the Texoma region. They are attending the match and walking out with both sides here tonight. And speaking of those sides, it's time to get a look at our lineups for this evening, starting with Adrian Forbes' side. It is a 4-3-3 formation, and not too many changes with the exception of Reed Valentine entering the 11 in Angelo Calfo's place. He's injured. Meanwhile, Diego Pepe also out, so Brendan McManus still starts up front, partnered by Solomon Asante and Lamine Jane. That is a front three that could prove dangerous as the match unfolds here tonight. On the other side for FC Naples and Matt Poland in his first season. This is a squad that has grown comfortable with its 11. It is a very similar lineup to the one we are used to seeing. Luca Perpa does enter the side for FC Naples, but it is the front three of Henderlong, Fedin, and Onan, three players who have been lethal going forward this year, and of course the spine of Evans and Dangler in defense, with one of the top goalkeepers in USL League One in Lalo Delgado between the sticks for Matt Poland's bunch. This is one of the better sides on paper in the league. They have performed up to snuff to begin their inaugural campaign. Well, we are just about set for kickoff here from Sherman, Texas. We await Jacqueline Metz's signal, our lead official tonight. It is Texoma and Naples, the first ever clash of these two expansion sides, and we are underway here from historic Bearcat Stadium. Thank you for joining us tonight. Sam Goldfarb presenting all of the action this evening as Texoma already breaks forward through John A. Has a hit and lacks accuracy. Well, talking to Adrian Forbes this week, he's mentioned it has been a trying start, no doubt. There have been emotions of frustration, disappointment, even anger, but for the most part, he is still has plenty of confidence in his lads. He's mentioned that once the ball gets rolling for this side, he feels they'll be really difficult to stop. And there were flashes in the early stages of that defeat against Westchester with a scintillating team goal to open the scoring. But unfortunately after that, chances were few and far between. And we'll be hoping to take the fight to a Naples side that has one of the best defenses in the league on the young campaign. Here's Cisneros. Well, there is the new addition to the lineup, Reed Valentine. Probably oscillate between a holding midfielder and an outside center back, depending on how the shape shifts over the course of this match. He's 19 years of age. And he gets his first USL League One start of his young career. Onan. Cross deflected and out of play for the match's first corner. It is a chilly night in Sherman. Temperatures just south of 50 degrees Fahrenheit. It is very windy as well. So everybody bundled up on an uncharacteristically cold evening in the northern Texas area. It'll be Andres Farin to take this first corner. Excuse me, that's actually Mark Torreas. Low ball within swing. Only as far as Torreas, and the flag is raised. When you flash back to last week for Texoma, we mentioned the tremendous start. Kashmir Spengler playing it into the path of McManus to open the scoring. From there, though, the chances really lagged behind. That was their only shot on goal the entire night. Pegged back before the break, and then another tally immediately after put them down for good. And to go from bad to worse, they lose Spengler to a red card after going behind 3-1. So a side that's already depleted via a myriad of factors, injury, visa problems for many of their new signings, and of course that suspension, finds itself with a bit of a shorter bench than normal tonight. Adrian Forbes says, we play with the cards we are dealt. He'd be lying if he said it was something that they were ready to handle this early in the campaign, but this is the position they find themselves in. Now it's about making a major statement of intent against the best side to open this season in USL League One. Onan, first ever signing in Naples history, is hunting the run of Luca Perpa. Well, there is Adrian Forbes, his first season at the helm of Texoma, moving from the youth ranks at Luton Town, spent the bulk of his coaching career in his native England. but he said this was an opportunity he could not pass up to be a head coach and sporting director. As this cross comes in, Henderlong, and just drags it wide. A glaring chance across the top striker's desk. And he's unable to put it on frame. This came out of thin air. See the cross come in. It's a good one at that. Henderlong makes good contact. McCready breathes a deep sigh of relief after that goes wide. On the other side of things, Matt Poland, the 33-year-old, leads FC Naples, former manager of Chicago House, a member of NISA and the Midwest Premier League. Talking to him, he feels the heightened responsibility living in the Paradise Coast region for 13 years of his life. This is a chance for him to build a powerhouse at a town that he considers home. So far off to a flying start, a team built on its defensive solidity that has begun to turn some of that defensive dominance into counter-attacking goals on the other end. When we talk to him, he mentions their blue-collar identity. It is about being assured at the back and then creating goals with their defense. So far, a very positive start. Here's the ball in towards Henderlong. Makes its way over to Onan. Heckenberg. Asante. One back nearly by Jordan. This Texoma side, we mentioned it, still chasing that elusive first victory in club history. Found their inaugural match in the Open Cup on this very ground against 4-0 SC, and then dropping their opening 2 league matches in the last 2 weeks. But when you talk to Adrian Forbes, he says that the performances are improving week to week, as Jordan's challenge definitely a touch late on the Naples midfielder. And again, he says once that first win comes, he feels they will be very difficult to stop. It's a side predicated on flair and exuberance going forward. It's filled with youth as well. Once their confidence begins to build, he is confident they will become quite the machine in the playoff chase. Glasser. Farine. Runs out of real estate on the far side. This is Cisneros. Onan dancing through traffic, looking for Henderlong. It's read well in the heart of defense by the Birds. As far as Torreas. Whistle will sound against Henderlong for his overzealous pressing. It is a Naples squad known for its counter press. In fact, creating a number of its goals this season off of the counter press. Hinderlong's work rate off the ball praised by Matt Poland when we talked to him this week, as well as, of course, his finishing. He brings relentless work ethic to the table, according to Matt Poland, and says that during his debut season with Indy 11, didn't quite get the opportunity he may have deserved to shine because he was behind two very high-paid and high-profile forwards there, but he's hit the ground running in his start to his League One career here in 2025. And just about 10 minutes in, here at historic Bearcat Stadium in Sherman, Sam Goldfarb bringing you all of the action tonight from the Texoma area. It is Texoma FC and FC Naples locking horns for the first time in both clubs' young histories. Both trending in opposite directions to open the year, but both with tremendous potential on paper when you look at some of the standout personnel on both squads. Naples has had a bit more time to get its feet under them, playing 6 matches in all comps already. It's an aggressive challenge from Asante, one that is penalized by Jacqueline Matz. Sure, look at one of the key playmaking additions for Naples, Luca Purpa. 26 years of age and someone who excelled in the MLS Next Pro ranks a season ago with Chicago Fire 2. Question is, can he translate that to USL League One? Played in the championship for quite some time with Hartford back in the day. It's a loose clearance. Delgado's off his line. The attempt from afar will not challenge him between the sticks. Fareed. Advancing it with purpose, Naples. Cisneros. Onan. Torreas, a native of Barcelona. Cisneros again. Awaiting support. Onan. Cross deflected, still loose. Hinderlong first to it, and finally closed down at the near post. Carson Hinderlong beginning to knock on the door. So far unable to breach Mason McCready's defenses. It's an inviting ball, one that is not properly dealt with by Chavez and company. And it's the late intervention which ultimately saves the day for Texoma. Will just be a long throw instead. Cisneros is dragged to the deck. It's a physical tackle that from Will Perkins. First proper set piece of the night for Naples. Texoma's flashed some vulnerabilities on set pieces. The goal they conceded from a similar spot on the pitch on the other end against Westchester. Immediately following the restart immediately comes to mind here. And right now, Purpa and a counterpart in the immediate vicinity. It's taken with in-swing by Heckenberg. And way too much altitude there for McCready. Well, he is a goalkeeper with tremendous potential. Adrian Forbes joked that he's been forced to do far too much work for his liking, but has made a number of game-changing saves, and at just 21 years old, believes he can become quite the asset for this club. And Chavez. Perkins dancing inside, a low cross. Texoma at least forcing Naples back. Only snatched back there by Davy Mason. Does do so at the second time of asking. Asante. Playing it wide, Perkins again. Flashing ball will not trouble Delgado. Get another look at this. You see Perkins just try to carve out space, but that's a ridiculously tight angle. It would have required a pinpoint finish. This feeling out process continuing so far. Naples, though, has thrown a number of warning shots across the bow, and they've all come across number 9 in Blues feet. Mason. No whistle from Jacqueline Matz. Heckenberg. Jane. This is Lamine Jane in space. Much needed intervention from Heckenberg on that occasion. Cisneros. It's a Naples side that has been up and down going forward this season. Just 4 goals to its name. Onan looking to change that here. Bashing it well over the crossbar. Jaden Onan is the danger man. Scored inside 40 seconds Wednesday night in the 3-0 victory over Little Rock. You see him cut inside. It's a goal that, well, was nearly reminiscent of that motion. But the final product is far more underwhelming on that occasion. Perkins. This is J.P. Jordan, the University of Louisville and Southern Methodist University product. Ramos. Asante. He did touch it with his arm, says our official. Well, fans, the USL on CBS kicks off tomorrow with 2 former USL Championship title winners battling it out. Join us at 4 p.m. Eastern as an undefeated San Antonio FC side takes on Western Conference rival Phoenix Rising FC tomorrow on CBS. Just shy of 20 minutes gone here between Texoma FC and FC Naples, a pair of expansion clubs meeting for the first time in their respective histories. Naples more so on the front foot. Texoma has kept them honest the other direction in what has been a somewhat cagey affair through 20 minutes. You see Jordan here. It's an aggressive challenge from Torres that is penalized. This is Texoma's first inviting set piece of the night. And it's Perkins and Ramos in the immediate vicinity. It's Perkins to deliver. It was an appetizing ball, but not one that cleared the first line of defense. Mason. Or Tormenta man. Goes out for what appears to be just a harmless goal kick. Jordan. Falls into the path of Perkins, a lively presence in the early stages. Henderlong, plenty of space on the break for Naples. Has runners with him, own in. Much needed intervention there from Kilwine, who just did enough of his job. See the frustration on his face. He's gotten into some good spots, Jaden Onan. Former Young Player of the Year finalist during his time at Forward Madison in 2023. And he is one of the top talents in this league on his day. Flashed some of that Wednesday in the US Open Cup victory. But a long time ago, a product of the USL Academy, a North London native who bounced around a number of prominent academies in London during his childhood. He's been in the States, though, the last 3 years in USL League One and has enjoyed his moments of promise during that time. One of the more unheralded pieces on this side, according to Matt Pullen, despite being the first ever signing in club history. Well, so far, not a shabby performance from his men. Adrian Forbes says he notices improvements week to week and says spirits are still high in training. Really complimented his captain, Jordan Chavez, for keeping the side level-headed in a moment of adversity such as this. And he emphasized the importance of bouncing back and making a major statement, proving that this side can contend with some of the top dogs in USL League One. Says a first ever victory in this fixture would go a long way to both boosting the confidence of his men and sending a warning shot to the rest of the league. His exact words were, when it all clicks, someone is going to be on the wrong end of what should be a very difficult result. Cisneros. Own it. Ball always dazzles on his boots. Cisneros back for Onan. Excellent tackle to boot it clear. Jordan Chavez again getting in the mix of things. Terrific interplay this. You see Cisneros cut inside and Onan leaves it dangling just a smidge. That's all Chavez needs to intervene. Just about at midway point of this first half here in Sherman, Texas. Historic Bearcat Stadium, the home of Sherman High School. Seats about 6,500. It is Texoma's home park until their plans to build a permanent soccer-specific stadium come to fruition. Pitch dimensions, though, look quite nice. Grass playing surface. Could be in a far worse environment to play football. This is through on Henderlong, and much needed tackle there from Kilwine to make the difference. Carson Henderlong has found himself in a number of positive spots. This another of them. You see, he takes it away from Chavez, but the heavy touch buys Kilwine just enough time to get in the mix. And it does appear he got it cleanly despite the protests of Henderlong. Naples, though, continuing to twist the screws. It is all about that final touch, which will propel them through on goal at one point or another. Jordan. This is Ramos, the former Central Valley and Madison man. Texoma still lacking any major final third threat of note. McManus hoping to change that. Overweights it for Asante. Henderlong. Lasser joining the fray. Farine. Spaced across here. Toward the back post. And right into the waiting gloves of Mason McCready. He spent 10 years, or nearly a decade rather, in Scotland with Partick Thistle FC. Bounced around the Scottish 4th and 5th tiers on loan before making the leap of faith to go back to the States. But comes from a very athletic background, Mason McCready does. His father, Scott, was a 2003 Super Bowl champion with the Patriots. Grew up in the US before moving back to the UK during his formational years as a footballer. Cisneros nearly lost out, and now he does. John A. carrying it free. Has support in the box, whipped in towards McManus. Lost his footing in the process. And his loud appeals for penalty immediately dismissed by Jacqueline Matz. Brendan McManus is the primary threat so far, and his story is quite remarkable at just 23 years of age. Man who lit up the score sheet during his final 3 years of college at Louisville, but then did not earn a professional contract last year coming out of college. So he went to a number of combines across the USL League One ranks and impressed Adrian Forbes during the combine with Texoma. Adrian Forbes raves about him, says his work rate off the ball is fantastic. There's still a lot to fine-tune, but the 2 goals have signified plenty of potential to open his professional career. He feels he can emerge into quite the asset going forward as the year progresses. Talking to McManus as well, Said when he scored that first pro goal in the Open Cup, he nearly blacked out. For him now, it's about making his goals have a bit more meaning. And so far through half an hour, a tally would have plenty of implications here. Torres, Glasser again. Tricky from Torres. Falls for Henderlong, low driver, and it's in! The red-hot form continues. Henderlong with a fourth of the year, and it's 1-0 Naples. Almost immediately on the 30-minute threshold, the side on the front foot cashes in on their dominance. The league leaders in front. Well, he's been threatening all night, and this is a class finish. Trickery from Torres, and then it just falls really kindly for Henderlong, and from there, able to place it beyond the outstretched gloves of McCready. And after the first two chances don't go his way, he converts on a very tight angle finish here. Well, there is the fifth in all comps, the fourth in league play for Carson Henderlong. 24 years of age, only made 5 appearances with Indy 11 a year ago. Here at Naples, in his 5th league appearance, has notched his 4th league goal. Texoma with work to do now, a side that has not flashed much going forward to date. And there is your look at the man of the hour, a proven goal scorer wherever he's been. Entered tonight, top of the league in the Golden Boot race. That advantage has just been extended by 1 more goal. Believe it or not, his first goal in the last 3 matches, which at this rate appears to be a goal drought that has been snapped. When you look at Henderlong's career, played 5 seasons in college and was a 2-time All-Big East selection at Xavier before playing a major role in the final 2 years of his career at Indiana. And was known for being a big goal scorer. Will cash in the first half here for FC Naples. As we approach the business end of the first half, the league leaders in line to take care of business. And as things stand, Texoma flashing very little threat the other direction. Wolfan Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the Academy to the big leagues, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select product specials and more. Select, the player's choice. Just beyond the 30-minute threshold here in historic Bearcat Stadium, and as things stand, a 1-0 advantage courtesy of Carson Henderlong, the league's leading goal scorer, bagging his 4th in league play this year. What a start it's been to his Naples career. This does not bode well if you are a Texoma supporter, because as we mentioned, Naples is built on its defensive solidity. This is a team that's conceded just 1 league goal in the entirety of this campaign. And they boast 2 of the best center backs in the league in Breck Evans and Jake Tangler. So if Naples chooses, they could sit back in defense and choose to protect this. Farine, they appear to be hunting more. Outside of the boot cross. Falls for Onan. Onan in space! That would have been quite the finish, but it never dipped in time. You see Onan creates the separation with the fake shot and then bashes it on his left. It was always rising and never fell. Through 35 minutes, He's arguably been their most dangerous threat outside of Henderlong. Still nothing to show for it on the score sheet yet. Beginning to see some frustration here from Texoma. It's a squad that still has yet to hit its full strength. We mentioned the amount of adversity it's faced early in the year. This is not just a squad that's dealing with injuries to the likes of Angelo Calfo and a few other key pieces. In addition, prior to this week, had 5 players who were unable to feature due to visa issues. One of those players has had his visa approved in Teddy Baker, who's on the bench tonight. It's still awaiting on a number of key contributors from England, Poland, etc. that have yet to earn approval to compete in the league. So it's still a work in progress for Texoma. The fans unaffected by the slow start. We saw the mascots Tex and Oma. It's a Texoma team that has really channeled the local region for its branding. A side that on its badge features the northern mockingbird, which is the Texas state bird on the left, and then the scissor-tailed flycatcher on the right, which is the Oklahoma state bird. Of course, the club name named after the region as well, and the red and magnolia references to both Texas and Oklahoma as well. Magnolia, of course, the nickname of Durant, which is one of the big metropolitan areas in the Texoma region. There's Farine for Naples, goes down on the edge of the area. And now the question is where this foul occurred. Appears just on the outside, according to Jacqueline Metz. And a yellow shown in the process as well. Very inviting set piece here for Naples. A Texoma man was added to the book. We believe it was Preston Kilwine, the former Tormenta man. See him chase after Farine here, and yes, this is clearly outside the area, so no penalty shouts. And textbook yellow card, a cynical tackle at that. Naples continuing to knock on the door, clearly preferring to double its advantage and not leave this up to chance tonight. Farine's delivery at the near post. Falls for Torres. There is Mark Torres again. Glasser. Still Max Glasser. Another inviting cross towards Onan. Can't get his boot to it. He's gotten into every dangerous spot for FC Naples tonight. And he has one clean touch on the ball away from making it 2 here. It's a cross with plenty of altitude. He's trying to hit this on the outside of his right boot. Just missing it, to the relief of Mason McCready, who's been under fire tonight. It's a peach of a ball forward, and Perkins is unable to catch up to it. And there's your look at the only man to be booked tonight, Preston Kilwine, who's playing against his former Tormenta center back partner, Jake Dankler. It's always interesting, the turnover in USL League One, especially when so many new expansion clubs come into the fold this season. So much opportunity for players to find a new home and thrive in a new environment. Farine. Evans. The top defenders in all of USL League One during his time in Northern Colorado. Heckenberg. Cisneros. Cross did not have an end recipient. Minutes gone. As things stand, Texoma lacking much threat in possession. It has unfortunately been more of the same for the Birds in this first half. Still though, hanging around, a counterattack away from changing the complexion of this. Johnny lost his footing on the near side. It was dealt with somewhat awkwardly by Texoma's back line. You wonder what the tactical adjustment here is for Adrian Forbes, because his side, known as a possession-oriented bunch, has struggled to knock it about consistently. And Naples has just pinned them in their own half. They've managed to slow the tempo down as well, so very little space to counter or speed up Naples. Just fully imposed its desired will on this match in the first half. I wonder if substitutions may be the name of the game early in the second half for Adrian Forbes and company. The likes of Asante and Jane on an island tonight. Not to mention McManus hardly touching it. Fan soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets from the #1 ticketing site. SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats. Approaching halftime here in Sherman, Texas. It is FC Naples 1, Texoma FC 0. Lone goal scored by Carson Henderlong, the league's leading goal scorer in the 30th minute. It is a match that has been controlled from wire to wire so far by the visitors. Texoma unable to get any of its key playmakers on the ball with space to operate, at least to this current moment. Sam Goldfarb bringing you all of the action tonight from historic Bearcat Stadium. These two expansion clubs clashing for the first time ever. Jordan. That's a lovely looking ball forward. He does find Perkins and actually narrowly evaded him in the end. Perpa. He was fouled by Ramos, who's already on a yellow. Excuse me, he's not on a yellow. Kilwine is. The yellow is shown at Jordan Chavez at the end of the day, though. So it's the captain Chavez in the book. Both center backs have been cautioned for Texoma tonight. Perpa chipping it forward towards Henderlong. It's off the post, still loose, and Farine unable to catch up to it. Henderlong seemed displeased, clearly thought his shirt was tugged. Jacqueline Metz unmoved though. And as things stand, Texoma off the hook.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. A caution has been issued by referee Texoma FC. Number 12, Sergio Chavez. Number 44.
Well, hearing word, as things stand, it will only be 1 minute of stoppage time. Texoma at this point, you'd figure, is just keen to get to halftime without any further damage. McManus is penalized. Here's the 1 minute confirmed.
Stoppage time brought to you by Spa 31. Well, ladies and gentlemen, before the official has indicated, there will be a minimum of 1 minute of added time in the first half.
Dying embers of this first half. Torres. Cisneros. Moving one back by Solomon Asante. And now he does so. Heckenberg will clean up the mess. And now the yellow shown for the shot after the fact. Well, there's Asante in the book right before intermission. And the first half of frustration goes from bad to worse for the Birds here. And there is your halftime whistle. After 45 minutes, it is another frustrating spell for Texoma FC. They trail the league leaders FC Naples 1-0 at halftime. Carson Henderlong, the man making the difference so far with his 30th minute tally, an expert finish. And the league leaders are in prime position to claim another 3 points at the moment. Texoma with work to do at the break. We will see how they adjust things tactically here in Sherman. After 45 minutes, Naples by far the happier of the two sides. Carson Henderlong and company carry a 1-0 lead into halftime. Adrian Forbes' side with work to do when we return here on ESPN+. Stick with us for the halftime show in USL League One when we return. Back here in Sherman, Texas, we're at halftime in this battle between expansion clubs. The scoreline reads FC Naples 1, Texoma FC 0. We welcome you back into Sherman, Texas. Sam Goldfarb bringing you all of the action tonight. As we get a look back at that first half, it was a relatively cagey affair. Very little going forward for Texoma, which found themselves on the back foot in a more pragmatic display than we're used to seeing, but unlocked in the 30th minute by Carson Henderlong after a number of chances came across his desk. And honestly, quite fortunate to not be behind by more. They have plenty of work to do here if they hope to get back in the match. It's now time to take a look at our March Player of the Month nominees in USL League One.
Club soccer 7 miles from Mount Vernon buries it. Westchester is a soccer county.
We welcome you.
It's a tremendous finish! San Antonio FC! Unreal! And Phoenix rising!
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
Whoa, termites can eat a pound of wood a day. 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 What's wrong, Daddy? Daddy? You okay?
Keep termites out of your home and your head with our premium guarantee that covers up to $250,000 in new termite damage. Before panic shows up, Terminix it.
Success doesn't come easy. It takes grit, hustle, and relentless effort. Every step forward brings you closer to greatness. This is your moment. Elevate your game. El Jimador Spiked Bebidas.
Back here at historic Bearcat Stadium, where at halftime it is Texoma FC 0, FC Naples 1 in this battle of expansion clubs. Naples on the front foot the bulk of the night. They have a deserved lead at intermission. Well, now it's time to take a look around USL League One, starting with our news and notes package. It has been a busy stretch in the league, starting with the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup, a league record 9 teams, including FC Naples, making the third round. Meanwhile, later tonight, AV Alta will welcome a sellout crowd of 5,000-plus fans in a battle of expansion clubs against Westchester SC. That match kicks off at 10:30. You should check that out after you're done here. And then our Player of the Month nominees we showed you in the previous commercial break: Leo Castro, Carson Henderlong, Darwin Espinal, and JC Obregon Jr. all nominated for March Player of the Month. How about the standout moments from Week 4 of USL League One, starting with our goal of the week, scored by Deanna Akoff against South Georgia Tormenta last week. You see this cross come in from Charlie Ostrom, falls right to the feet of Akoff, who hits it first time. A scintillating goal to help Omaha power to victory, one of their first of the season here in late March. Now on the other side of things, our save of the week, it is Gunther Rankenberg coming against Spokane Velocity. This is a match that did not go Greenville's way by any means, but he denies Luis Heel from the spot to keep Greenville at the time within striking distance, though they fell 3-0 in a frustrating performance at Paladin Stadium. Those are your standout moments in Week 4 of USL League One. Well, here our only standout moment is the Henderlong opener. A 1-0 lead for FC Naples at halftime over Texoma as the hosts look to reverse course and notch their first victory in club history. Stick with us here on ESPN Plus when we return. A look back at the first half here from Sherman. We are back here in the Texoma region, where as we get geared up for the start of the second half, FC Naples leads Texoma FC 1-0 at intermission. It's now time to take a look back at the key moments of the opening 45 minutes. A first half that is dominated by Naples. You will see who rocketed it off the far post. It was that kind of first half for Texoma's back line. A constant onslaught from the league leaders, and somehow a second doesn't find its way in. Here's your look at the halftime stats. I think they tell the bulk of the story, frankly. A Naples side that, has shown an ability to play out of possession, actually is boss possession, and they have tripled Texoma in the shots category. Meanwhile, the Birds have yet to put a shot on goal. It has been a very peaceful opening 45 minutes from Lalo Delgado and company. On the discipline front, 3 yellow cards shown to Texoma, including both their center backs in Jordan Chavez and Preston Kilwine. That is something to watch over the remainder of this contest here in Sherman. Well, the fans are out in full force despite it being a very chilly night by Texoma standards. See good turnout as they're ready to go for this second half. Texoma FC has made a change at intermission, and it is a debutant. Teddy Baker will replace Will Perkins on the right flank. That is the only change by either side at halftime. He is one of the players whose visa was approved this week. In fact, approved yesterday. He now makes his Texoma debut. The former Ipswich Town Academy product is now in the side. Back underway here in the second half of this first ever clash between Texoma and Naples, and the question remains, can Texoma flip the script? The side still desperately hunting not only its first ever win, but its first result in club history. After those opening 45 minutes, it appears to be a bleak proposition. Naples trying to pick up right where they left off as they look long for Andres Furin. Ushered out of play by Davy Mason, that is. We mentioned the new addition to the fold, Teddy Baker, a listed winger who's playing in a makeshift wing-back role in place of Will Perkins tonight. chance to make an impact on his debut. 23 years of age, his first pro contract after finishing his college career at Hofstra this past fall. As we mentioned, someone who played a prominent role at a number of English youth academies during his childhood in Bawdsey, England. Well, if you are just joining us, we welcome you back into historic Bearcat Stadium. Sam Goldfarb taking you every step of the way tonight. It is Naples with a 1-0 advantage over Texoma. The goal scored by Carson Henderlong, the league's leader in goals at the minute, came in the 30th. Naples has knocked on the door since, but has yet to find that second or potential third. And now Mason's breaking forward, a good cross. Does not greet anyone in white and red. And Texoma will settle for a throw. Davey Mason has featured in USL League One before. 4 of his 5 pro seasons, though, have come in NISA with Maryland Bobcats. Did play 1 season with Tormenta. Former teammate of Jake Dengler as a result. Asante darting inside. His first proper touch in a dangerous area. Comes to no avail, though. Onan. Cisneros, promising first half for him on the left flank. And now winning it back for Naples. Torres' cross, a decent one. Falls for Farine. Nearly came to Purpa's feet. Texoma can clear their lines for now. You hear the crowd roar at full force whenever there's a player in space, but unfortunately, no real opportunity for Asante or Jone to operate in the final third tonight, at least to this point. Purpa and company have had plenty of chances the other way. Cross comes towards Henderlong. Couldn't react in time. Asante, 35 years of age. Adrian Forbes says he still believes there's plenty of quality. He says it also goes well beyond his performances on the pitch. He says that Solomon Asante, what a man, was the exact phrasing used. Someone who helps build his confidence in a run of bad results to open Texoma's tenure, and also has truly bought into Adrian Forbes' system and method of running the club. And in addition, has built the confidence of many of his younger teammates. This is a Texoma side with plenty of players in their early to mid-20s that are just getting their first taste of professional football. Adrian Forbes says Asante has been quite the resource for them. This cross comes in. It's cleared only as far as Mason. And this is Asante. Runs into a thicket of dark blue kids. John A. Falls for Mason again. Now dispossessed by Farine. Henderlong is off to the races with support. This is Carson Henderlong. Laying it off now, Purpa. Goes out for a corner for Naples.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please.
Chances continue to mount. I think Henderlong, maybe kicking himself here, was clearly trying to usher himself onto his left.
Leading the match is number
But
22.
bought Texoma just enough time to recover defensively. There'll be another corner for Naples. Chris Heckenberg is making his way over to take. With in swing, decent ball, and it's headed in. A second for Naples, and that may be the separation required. Set piece woes rear their ugly head again for Texoma. It is a deserved second for the visitors, and it's Breck Evans who finds the back of the net for the second consecutive match. Well delivered. Evans rising like a salmon, placed to perfection in the bottom right. A goal reminiscent of his tally in the Open Cup just 3 nights ago. And Evans adds another tally for the visitors. Well, the frustration continues for Texoma. Breck Evans, not known for his final third threat by any means, adds yet another goal with his head, 2 in a week. And it is 2 for Naples. For a Texoma side that has shown, unfortunately, so little going forward. You wonder if that's the final blow. John A. looking to change things. Breck Evans is one of the more experienced center backs in USL League One, and Naples made it a point to invest significant money in their defense. Matt Poland talking about the, quote, blue-collar identity he wants to impose on his side. He says, our offense comes from our defense, and it starts with solidity back there. Breck Evans and Jake Dengler are 2 of the more experienced center backs in the league's history. And of course, Evans winning a league double in the league's inaugural campaign with North Texas. The last 3 years at Northern Colorado, emerged as one of the top defenders in USL League One. Now adds a 7th goal of his pro career, his 2nd in a week from a corner. At this rate, Naples would be the first team to enter double-digit point territory. And while many teams have matches in hand, unbeaten through their first 5 league games is nothing to scoff at for a team in its inaugural season. We mentioned it off the top. 7 unbeaten would match the 2nd best start to a League One club's inaugural campaign in all comps. Matched North Texas in 2019, that team that won the double. Farine. Naples still looking for more. Purpa. Back for Farine. Was beyond the reach of Henderlong at the back stick. Well, there is Matt Poland, someone who talked about imposing a clearly distinct style, and his rapid rise to professional head coach has been quite the sight to behold. Someone who began his coaching pursuits in the lower leagues in Finland after a career-ending ACL tear in the Finnish second tier. Has taken that show on the road to the United States, coached throughout youth ranks in the Naples and Paradise Coast area. And after a prolonged stretch as the head man at Chicago House, has taken all of that experience to Naples and as of now has built an early season juggernaut. It's his first full-time coaching gig at the professional level. And he has taken it by the horns and done a very impressive job through a month and change. He's mentioned there is some concern with fixture congestion, but it is a side that has stayed healthy, and he's winning tends to heal all wounds when it comes to knocks and ailments. As Baker is sent tumbling to the deck, and it appears Julian Cisneros will be the first Naples man to enter the book.
If you get your recording live, call Joe Brown Attorney, www.joebrown.law.
It may be a harsh yellow, this. See Baker cut inside. It is certainly a missed time tackle. Doesn't catch him that high up. Either way, though, he is the first man in navy blue tonight to be booked. Can Texoma manufacture a way back into this via the set piece route? It is Ramos and Baker in the vicinity. Ramos hooking it in, and nobody to greet it. You feel the palpable deflation throughout the stadium so far. There's plenty of promise in this Texoma side. The question is just unlocking it. So far tonight, though, very few signs of doing so. But again, when it clicks, there is significant optimism that they will be quite a dangerous side to face. And the talent on the squad is apparent. This was just a very unfortunate buzzsaw that they may have run into tonight. Well, there's a man down now for Texoma. It's a squad that's already hampered by injury at the moment. This appears to be a non-contact injury, and those the scariest, of course. Get another look at things. Just running back, and here's Kilwine just falls straight to the deck. Adversity continuing to mount for Adrian Forbes and company. Talking to Adrian Forbes, he understood the unenviable nature of the personnel situation he finds himself in. He mentioned not only the visa situation on a number of occasions, but Spengler, one of their top playmakers, suspended tonight, and then two other key players who were members of the 11 to open the year, and Diego Pepe and Angelo Calfo, injured tonight. As Kilwine is back to his feet and appears content to continue. He said, we're not using that, though, as an excuse. We still have the quality to compete on the pitch. It is next man up. And he felt optimistic about their potential tonight to make a statement. Still have 30 minutes to do so, but it would require a stark reversal in fortune. positive sign is Kilwine trying to walk off this knock. Farine will lose out to Mason on this particular occasion. Hearing word Texoma readying a change, and it is unfortunate news. It appears Kilwine was unable to walk off that knock. He will be the man to depart. Cisneros loses out. Asante. Baker. This is John A. Waiting for reinforcements. Baker again. Broken up relatively routinely at that. The change will take place. It is Patrick Stasifisky who will replace Preston Kilwine in the heart of defense. Stasifisky, a infrequently used reserve, a younger defender on this Texoma side at just 19 years of age, making his USL League One debut. Former Arsenal Academy product himself. Spent the last couple years under contract at Cambridge United, a League One club there. Makes his third-tier debut in the United States. Glasser. And Jordan winning it back. Asante in some space. Can the 35-year-old conjure? John A. Looking for room to cross. A good ball! McManus's header just floats wide. Signs of life, though, for Texoma. Jordan. That was Texoma's best opportunity to date. It comes shortly after the hour mark. Perpa. Cisneros. Well, here is your look at the biggest chance of the match for the Birds so far. Very appetizing one. It's created by John A. It is very hard to redirect a ball at this pace from this angle. McManus did quite well to get his dome to it. Couldn't twist it on target. Hearing word at the end of that interchange, Torres was booked. So 2 Naples men on the pitch, grappling with yellow cards in Torres and Cisneros. Jordan runs onto this. No whistle from Jacqueline Metz, to the chagrin of the Texoma players. Fans can't watch the match? Turn on SiriusXM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access Tuesday nights. Plus hear live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on SiriusXM 157 and the new SiriusXM app. Just shy of 25 minutes to go in the 90. A 2-0 advantage for FC Naples with goals on either side of halftime. Henderlong opening the scoring in the 30th. Breck Evans doubling the lead 23 minutes later. As things stand, it is a performance in which Naples has had the upper hand for the lion's share of the match. It is a deserved advantage, but Texoma has shown some signs of life these last couple minutes. This is Valentine. Baker, the return ball. Texoma starting to establish a foothold. Ramos. Sliding challenge from Jordan. Both do the job, but harmlessly back to Lalo Delgado. Well, there is your look at one of the top goalkeepers in USL League One. Naples splashing the cash to acquire him this winter. Emerged as a dynamic force between the sticks the last couple seasons with Northern Colorado. In his first year, of course, setting the league single season record for clean sheets with 13. And then last year, an all-league second team campaign for a Hailstorm side that finished the year second in the USL League One table before a really disappointing defeat in the quarterfinals to eventual finalist Spokane Velocity. Lalo Delgado was consistent, and despite not facing many actual clean-cut chances, Matt Poland has raved about his ability tactically to distribute the ball and position himself to minimize opposing chances on target. Baker escorting it wide for John A. He knows there's still work to be done. Plenty of urgency along the touchline from Adrian Forbes. And when talking to him, he's raved about how warm everyone in the Texoma region has been and welcomed him with open arms. He says it's so different to his hometown of London, where he's from. Notable moment came when he visited the Hot Summer Nights Conference Series. Mentioned how everyone could leave their bags unattended and just enjoy a positive night with the family. He says while he has yet to fully adopt country music, some of his assistants have. The notable one, Adam Lewis, the goalkeeper coach, has fully immersed himself in Texas culture. Playing country music, wearing cowboy boots, the whole 9 yards. Says he loves that for him. That was a direct quote. Biggest goal for him and the front office now is building a club that becomes an institution in this area. He says it's a football-rich environment. Our combines, where so many trialists came to try and secure a professional contract, are evidence of that. And now it is about becoming a fixture in this community. And when you look at their early season turnouts, they've gotten good local support. Now it's about turning that into results on the pitch, as Ozzy Ramos is booked for his challenge on Carson Henderlong.
Joe Brown determined. www.joebrown.law.
Becoming a bit chippy, this. It's a late tackle from Ramos. No real malicious intent in it. It was certainly high up on the legs. inside the final 20 minutes here in Sherman. And hearing word that Naples is readying their first changes. It's a long ball for McManus that is handled brilliantly by Dangler. It had some threat behind it as well. And that change will take place now. So Marc Terras's night comes to a conclusion. A solid performance for the Barcelona native. He will be replaced by Kevin O'Connor, the Irishman, in a like-for-like swap. O'Connor's been a frequent starter for this Naples side and has spent nearly a decade professionally in the top 2 divisions of Irish football before taking a near 2-year hiatus. He stemmed that tide this winter and has been an integral part of Matt Poland's side on the young campaign. He will be tasked with helping Naples shore things up as they look for a 5th victory in all competitions tonight. Asante. Baker. Now back for Asante. He's gotten a few more touches in space in the second half, but nothing particularly dangerous. Over the top for John A. Falls for Solomon Asante. Clattering it into the legs of Heckenberg. There's still a fear factor whenever he's in the vicinity. Blue shirts magnetized to him whenever he latches onto the ball.
Ladies and gentlemen, attention please. Substitution for FC Naples, 72nd minute. Entering the match is number 14, Kevin O'Connor. Leaving the match is number 20.
Asante again. Support is late arriving. John A. Still Lamine John A. Didn't quite have the bite on that effort. And at this point, Naples clearly content to absorb pressure out of possession. Not coming out of their shell much as they seek to protect this 2-goal advantage. John A., the flag stays down. Looking for Baker. Approaching the final quarter of an hour here from Sherman. Lamine John A. again, 29-year-old. Cuts inside, and there is the first save required of Lalo Delgado tonight. It's not an effort that required much of him, but it is him being called into action. Heckenberg. Vermain shoved to the deck. Fans, the USL Championship and League One are on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN+. Go to uslchampionship.com or uslleague1.com for the complete USL TV listings. We're inside the final 15 minutes here in Sherman, Texas, where FC Naples leads Texoma FC 2-0. Goals by Carson Henderlog and Breck Evans on either side of halftime, separating the league leaders from the side that occupies the league basement at the minute. It is a performance in which Naples has been the dominant side. As Perpa snatches this, here's Andres Farine darting it back across. Doesn't quite fall cleanly for Onan. One more change being readied by Texoma FC. Donald Benamna is the man set to enter. And it appears to be an attack-minded alteration because Ozzy Ramos, who's on a yellow card, is tipped to depart as things currently stand. That change will take place now. Ozzy Ramos, the experienced defensive midfielder, makes way for Benamna. Frustrating night for him, unable to really control the midfield, as I'm sure Adrian Forbes would have hoped. Now they're forced to throw the kitchen sink at FC Naples. They bring in a listed winger in Donald Benamna, a Central African Republic international, who returned to League One this season after a stint with Northern Colorado 2 years ago. Here is his first touch. And continuing to run onto it is Benamna. Still dancing, Donald Benamna. There was some flair in that foray forward. Unfortunately, not much more for the hosts. There's some promise out of Benamna's boots. Well, this was exciting. He dances past Cisneros, gets onto his favored left foot. Was trying to curl it, but couldn't wrap his foot around it. Either way, signs of life. And one goal could at least instill some nerves in this Naples back line. It is a side that has yet to concede multiple goals in a match, though, this season. O'Connor. Progressive ball forward. Farine can't catch up to it. Benamna is an interesting case study. Didn't feature overwhelmingly with Northern Colorado. Spent last season in the Moroccan lower leagues and now back in the United States. And missed the early portion of the season. Was playing for Central African Republic in 2026 World Cup qualifiers during the March international break. But he brings quality and dynamism going forward, and we've already seen that with his first set of touches tonight. That is a painful coming together between Jordan and Perpa. The question is, who is the reckless one in this interchange? Johnny certainly thinks it was the latter of the two.
Hey, Texoma fans, it is that time of the game. Head over to Instagram or Facebook at Texoma FC and vote for your player of the game, located on the Instagram or Facebook stories. Votes will be tallied at the 90th minute as we present the player of the game wrestling belt. Player of the game presented by Flanagan's Outdoor Power Equipment and
Jordan is still prone on the deck. Both slow to their feet after this. Looked like a 50-50 that neither won. I think we have two losers in this interchange. It appears Jordan was undercut here, but Perpa took quite the whacking as well. And both will labor to their feet.
If you get a yellow card line, call Jordan Attorney.
It actually is Jordan who's booked. So they say his challenge in the air was the reckless one instead of purpose. JP Jordan is cautioned here. And good to see both are back to their feet and all right either way. There's a change being ready. Tyler Pasnick and Gustavo Fernandez entering for Naples. Now it's Cisneros who vacates for Fernandez, and then Pasnick replacing Perpa. And it appears maybe a shift change for Matt Poland to move to a 5-back. He replaces his fullback with an out-and-out center back in Gustavo Fernandez, who is a former USL League One winner with North Carolina FC 2 years back. Well, Pasnick, a much younger addition to this Naples side at 20 years old. Spent plenty of time in the Rangers Academy before playing last season with Huntsville City in MLS Next Pro. So it's a double swap for Naples as they look to shore this up. Heckenberg. Looking for Farine. Doesn't run onto it in time. Asante. Is there a lifeline late for Texoma? Henderlong now giving chase. McCready off his line and wins the foot race anyways. Positive instincts there from the 21-year-old between the sticks, who's shown his mettle when afforded the opportunity. Neither goal he had much chance with. Fancy Football is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. Inside the final 10 minutes from historic Bearcat Stadium at Sherman High School in Sherman, Texas. 2-0 advantage for Naples. The table toppers look set to climb one step further into double-digit points territory. A victory tonight would match the second best start by a club in its inaugural season, 7 unbeaten. That would tie North Texas, which won the 2019 title. Benamna. Fanin. I've seen flashes from him, the former Once Caldas product in Colombia.
Leaving the match with number 22, Luka Yurban.
McManus has some support ahead. This is Benamna. Baker back for Benamna. Cross comes in. It's a decent ball. Benamna, the infusion of energy off the bench that Texoma's requested. Stashafisky. It's a loose pass. Onan reads it.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Substitution for Texoma FC, the 82nd minute.
Naples entered tonight
Number 16.
with 4 wins in the last 5 in all competitions. That would move to 5-6. It's a side that's rarely found itself having to play from behind. In fact, the only time they've trailed this season came in their inaugural match against Chattanooga Red Wolves. The goal coming, albeit somewhat flukily, a freak goal off a cross that turned into a shot and found the top corner on a corner kick. They equalized from the spot in that match, and the rest has been history for Matt Poland's side. A side that has rode its defensive solidity to result after result and has hardly dropped points the entire campaign. Farin latches onto this. Tucking it inside towards Onan. Jordan won it cleanly according to our official. Benamna.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. The caution has been issued by referee to Texoma FC.
Farin. It's a careless giveaway. Farin running onto it. Andres Farin! An excellent stop from McCready to at least keep Texoma within somewhat striking distance. It's just a simple 1-2. Texoma's defense switches off. It's a full extension stop from McCready to at least provide them with a semblance of hope here late. Corner will come for the Wave in the late stages. It is Kevin O'Connor to take, one of the many substitutes for Naples tonight. Hooks it towards the back post, headed on, and there is the third for Naples. Both center backs on the score sheet. Jake Dengler makes it 3-0. Devastation for Texoma. Celebration for Naples, who have been set-piece specialists tonight for Matt Poland. It's a scintillating delivery. High, only Dengler can get there. Puts it on target, and from there, no chance. Out of reach for the Birds now. Well, Jake Dengler, a veteran of this league, a former USL League One champion in 2022 with South Georgia Tormenta, leaving the Ibises after 3 years of service to join Naples in December. And what a decision it's been. He and Breck Evans have locked down the rest of the league in the early stages, have themselves in line for what would be a 4th clean sheet in 5 league matches. And both of them have found themselves on the score sheet tonight as well. Into the final minute of normal time. We are hearing word it will be 4 minutes separating us from the full-time whistle as we hit the 90-minute threshold. Naples continuing to push for more through Pasnik. A night of frustration once again for Adrian Forbes and company. I mentioned it's been a season of emotional ups and downs. He knows what this side is capable of, but it has not clicked yet, and that elusive first victory in club history still beyond their grasp as we enter early April. 4 minutes confirmed, and it is all wrapped up in a bow at this stage for Naples.
Stoppage time.
Late changes being ready. Carson Henderlong, the man who opened the goal-scoring party, will vacate. Star striker who extends his league-leading goals mark to 4. Replaced in a very defensive swap. Rodolfo Zulia, the Puerto Rican international, replaces him. And both himself and his teammates receiving a congratulations from Matt Poland for a job well done. Farina also vacated for Rubenstein. Roscoe Rubenstein, another young addition to this Naples side in his second pro campaign. One final corner, it seems, for Naples. They do say it took a touch off of a Texoma man. Can they make it a hat trick of corner kick tallies? The man who assisted the most recent in O'Connor stands over this. Another floated ball to the back post. This one dealt with at the first time of asking. And a much more underwhelming final product on that particular exchange. We're in the final 90 seconds of the added 4 minutes. It's all about finding a consolation goal at this point for Texoma, a squad that's managed just 1 league tally through 2 matches and change. It's nearly reached John A. Follow-up cross is a good one. Asante, it's snatched away. Banana's follow-up cross is cleared for the time being. Mason, still not dealt with. Asante with the heavy touch at the end. John A. shrugged off it, deflected across. Asante! That may have been their best chance. And we'll have one final set piece to try to make a difference late. This is a mad dash. The cross from John A. Another poor clearance from a Naples backline that's been so assured tonight. And Asante does connect with it. Now stands over this corner. Beyond the 4 minutes of added time now. And there is the full-time whistle. A dominant Naples display from wire to wire sends the league leaders further atop the table. 5 wins in the last 6 in all competitions, and now matching the second best start to an inaugural season in league history. 7 unbeaten as Naples prevails in 3-0 fashion. Goals from Carson Henderlong, Breck Evans, and Jake Dengler making the difference as Texoma once again comes up empty-handed at home. We will take a quick breather here from Sherman, Texas. When we return, a look back at the standout moments from those 90 minutes, all of which were bossed by the league leaders tonight. Stick with us here in Texas. Back here in Texoma, where the hosts fall in 3-0 fashion to the league leaders. Carson Henderlong and company win 3-0 in Sherman, Texas tonight in a dominant display as they keep their 4th consecutive clean sheet in USL League One play. It's time to take a look at our full-time highlights here from historic Bearcat Stadium. It was 90 minutes of domination from FC Naples tonight, a side continuing its USL League One title push in its inaugural campaign. And we pick it up early. Carson Henderlong causing danger after danger. Unable to finish in the opening half hour, but finally broke through right on the 30-minute mark. You see Torreya's trickery, and it falls for Henderlong, who really makes the most of a tough tight angle finish, slots it into the bottom left, and gives Naples an elusive 1-0 advantage before intermission. It was a half of frustration. They dominated the first, unable to find a breakthrough until that moment. But from there, the floodgates slowly but surely started to open for a Wave side that continued to push on. Onan late in the first half, ushering himself onto his left, an effort that just sailed above the crossbar, and that was really how the remainder of the 90 minutes went. Chance after chance after chance. You see Henderlong nods that one off the far post. A really decent delivery here from Perpa as well, who made a menace of himself throughout his 60-plus minutes on the pitch. And then finally the second, it's a near post ball. Breck Evans for the second time this week. For the top, the follow-up corner comes to Jake Dangler. Both center backs on the score sheet tonight. That was the final blow and sealed Texoma's fate. A 4th consecutive defeat would be sure to follow from there for the hosts, and that it did. Here is your look at the full-time stats. Dominant in pretty much every category from Naples. I think the numbers actually do flatter Texoma a bit. They took over the possession battle in the second half as they chased the match, especially after falling behind 2-0. They logged some shots, but only put 1 on target. And for the 4th consecutive game, it's a 1-save clean sheet from Lalo Delgado, who's able to sit comfortably between the sticks. Meanwhile, for Naples, clinical finishing when they put the ball on target. 3 of 5 shots on goal, destined for the back of the net. Did take 16 shots, maybe wasteful a bit in the first half, but overall no complaints if you are a fan of the league leaders. It is a dominant display from FC Naples tonight. For the 4th consecutive time, a clean sheet. That man, Lalo Delgado, not conceding a goal in the last 458 minutes of league play. That streak continuing here tonight. The Naples fans continue to celebrate in front of the traveling support. A dominant 3-0 victory at Texoma in the first ever meeting between the two clubs. For our terrific crew from the Texoma region, I'm Sam Goldfarb saying so long from Sherman, Texas, where it finishes FC Naples 3, Texoma FC 0. Have a great rest of your night, everyone. From Sherman, signing off.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.